Hello, good afternoon, friends and neighbors. Welcome. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament, for joining you again another Saturday to join you. Just give me, I think the volume is down. Just make sure that the volumes are down so that you can hear me clearly. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome, friends and neighbors and brothers and sisters. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament, joining you again another Saturday for bringing you coffee, tea, any beverages you have. Before we start, I would like to first and foremost I wish to acknowledge at this time the land that we now know as York Southwestern is a traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuits, Métis peoples. Welcome, folks, those who are joining us. Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also YouTube as well. Welcome, folks, and also welcome, folks just join. Meet me at the crossroads. Welcome back to you as well. And just quickly, folks, this Saturday is the last Saturday of August 31st, which will end 31st. But today is 28th, and it's going to be the last Saturday, and it will be the last Saturday I'm joining you live. But instead, we're going to meet again, as you requested, to continue these conversations and hearing your comments, and also updating you what we have been doing on the last week at the legislature, and also sharing comments as well, and also hearing your comments, and also your answering your questions as well. So next Friday, I will be joining you. That will be the 4th of September. It'll be the first Friday. We're going to join together from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. That way, we'll be able to join you in September and continuously, and now and end Saturday meetings as well. And folks who are joining us on Facebook, also welcome, Frank. Welcome also, Ivan. Welcome, Nestor. Welcome. And Frank says, thank you for holding this talk, Brother Faisal Hassan. Well, thank you, Brother Frank and Brother Ivan and Sister Nasra. And also, folks are also joining also Instagram, YouTube, and also Twitter. Quickly, also an announcement. This coming Thursday, September 2nd, we are also going to hold a virtual town hall meeting on a safe return to schools, and it will start from 6:30 to 7 p.m. So join us. And if you want to be also to join the discussion, to be a panelist, also send us an email, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. You can also reach me at 416-243-7984. Well, thank you and welcome again, each and every one of you. I know it's a beautiful August Saturday from 3 to 4, and we're also in the middle of a general election, federal general election, which was in the first place. I've said last week as well that it was a mistake to have an election in the middle of a pandemic, and also a middle of also a fourth wave, and also the parliament was functioning fine. People were working together. All these federal political parties were working with the Liberals and Justin Trudeau team, but they don't want to work with a minority government. They just want power. And I think the people of Canada wants a parliament that addresses the issues, the important issues in our community. And we have said again and again, this community have been neglected the last 15 years and the last 3 years from the Liberals and the Conservatives. We need change, and next year we're going to have a general election. But in the meantime, make sure you visit our federal candidate. Her office is located Eglinton and Kill, 2567 Eglinton Avenue West. She's doing a fantastic job. She's a great candidate, and hopefully you meet her and also get involved there. Well, thank you. And also, recent weeks, folks, community members have expressed concerns about the rapid proliferations of cannabis retail stores throughout our community. The federal government made the decision to legalize cannabis in 2018, and the province was given the authority also to regulate distribution. In 2018, Bill 36 was implemented in Ontario, providing the basis for the province of Ontario to be the sole distributor of cannabis through the Ontario Cannabis Store. The Ontario Cannabis Store is a Crown agency that is solely owned by the province of Ontario. At the end of 2019, the government of Ontario announced that it will be making amendments to the bill, which would encourage an open market cannabis retail authorization of falling under the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario. This caused a significant increase in cannabis retail stores. As a result of this legislative choices, we are witnessing the environment that so many of you have raised concerns about. And here in our community in York Southwestern, we have seen requests to establish cannabis retail locations across from local schools. So far we have identified 3 schools in the community, and we have also seen unlicensed retail locations open and operate outside of the regulatory framework. When I speak to the community members, they appreciate that reverting to prohibition is not the solution, but they can clearly see that the system is not working for them or the community. They want further regulation and more restrictions around the quantity and location of cannabis retail stores. And as you know, this Thursday, I hosted a virtual town hall on this topic, and I was joined by community members who have discussed a path forward. And I've also produced an excellent ideas and initiatives. And please, if you missed it, please watch it. You can find my YouTube, my Twitter, and also my Facebook as well. So you are able to listen and write to me your thoughts and also your suggestions and ideas as well. Faisal Hassan CO at ndp.on.ca. You can phone my constituency 416-243-7984. And I see someone just requesting to join me live on Instagram. I'm sorry, I won't be able to invite you to participate in the conversation. But if you ask question or comment, I'll be happy to include you in that regard. Okay? Well, thank you. As I prepare to return to the legislature September 13, the current approach to cannabis retail must be repaired, and any changes should be informed by the wishes of the community. And I do appreciate everyone who has shared their thoughts on this issue and look forward to hearing more of your suggestions. What we have learned on Thursday also is if you put a complaint against these requests from these cannabis stores, then the Alcohol Commission Games of Ontario will be sharing your information to these companies, thereby contacting you. And that is considered harassment. And this is also, I don't know if it's a practice that they use not only in our community, or if it's also happening every community in this regard. We would like to find out more about this because this is not right. Okay? And we need to get the bottom of that as well, because intimidation is not the way to go. If these companies are given to communicate to people, it's not right. And that tells you now who's in charge. There's no mechanism where you could hear the community's concerns. And definitely we don't want close to schools, close to where kids are playing, close to where kids are getting off the buses, and places like that should not be a location where these stores should come up, pop up by just making harm for our young children. And I thank you, many of you, many parents have also written to me about their concerns about the harmful of cannabis for their children, and that's why we need to protect our children. And I know many of you have said, and I said also, that the community is not against businesses. They do support their small businesses, and they want continuous support in order these small businesses to stand up on their feet. We have 5 business improvement areas. That's BIA that are doing a fantastic job, and we want to work with them to make sure that also this government provides them a third round of also a small Ontario small businesses grants. And many of you also have applied a long time and still are waiting your applications being improved. At least we have 7 or 8 cases that we have been dealing with the ministry to look into this, why they have not been provided the first round and second round and so on and so forth. And that is a problem. And we need to make sure those are addressed as well. But also, we need to protect the children. We know 2 schools in Kills in south of Lawrence and Kill, that the middle schools in close by in Kill, and also the legislation also says a distance of 150 meters. But we see now 150 meters is not that a distance, and we need also to look into this and make sure that we protect our kids. These are our future, and these are the kids we have. Our kids are having a lot of problems already in our community, and also putting this more into closer to them. And these advertisements also that many of you have identified targeting young people, also we need to look into that as well. Well, thank you. Those of you who have just joined, you're joining Faisal Hassan, you're a member of Provincial Parliament for York Southwestern, and I've been joining you every Saturday since the beginning of the pandemic, just to be accountable and also transparent, to make sure that you can also have access to me, since you are also staying at home. Since now things are opening up, I know that many of you, especially summer, it's a beautiful day today out there, and I don't expect you just to congregating into the Zoom or into our social media devices. But I get that. But now I know that because Saturday also, it was also from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So now we are going to actually shift that. Instead of Saturday, we're going to meet Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So check out next Saturday. I won't be able to join you, but I'll be joining you Friday. So make sure then mark on your calendar 7 p.m. every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Okay. And again, also, folks, schools will be reopening in days, and parents that I have spoken remain concerned about the possibility of the 4th wave and further school closures. I have been disappointed by the government's slow approach to planning for the school year. Parents and teachers went capped class sizes, more mental health support, educational assistance, and counseling supports for students. A minimum and enforced standard for ventilations, basic days, and family care days for everyone. Also, if and when Healthcare Canada approves, also looking into also vaccines, and that hasn't been approved yet. We will also rely on the a science table as well. We can get every eligible person to get their vaccines. The government must prepare to reach out every family proactively in advance and be ready to deploy a vaccine clinic or clinics to every single school in our community to make sure the teachers and also support workers and school education workers also get their vaccines as well. And we need to make sure that that's happening as well. Well, thank you, folks, for joining. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament. And also, we've been receiving many of you, many seniors have written to me about concerns about their eye care. And that's why we needed to first and foremost to have a healthcare that is public, that is also a covering from head to toe. Looking after your eyes, your ears, your dental, and also pharma care, dental care, eye care, ear care, head to toe, making sure that our health is covered, and that everybody has also not to worry about their health. And we know that as a result of the dispute of the Ontario government and the Optometrist Association of Ontario, will withdraw services on September 1st unless an agreement is reached. The Minister of Health has recently pressed a new offer, but to date has not been willing to negotiate directly on the matter with the optometrist. And I've said again and again, come back to the table, make sure our seniors, our elderly people have access to OHIP care coverage for their eye care. And I have urged the government to show optometrists the respect they deserve and the compensation, and compensate them fairly after years of underinvestment. These OHIP coverage services are too important to our community. I remain hopeful that the government and optometrists will be able to reach an agreement. But the Minister of Health must respect these healthcare professionals and their patients, because they deserve better and our community deserves better, and we need to make sure that we support, make sure that our healthcare is there when our members of our community need them. And that means the federal government. It's also an opportunity, folks, that you also ask candidates also, what are they going to do about our healthcare? We know that there have been privatizations and directions to that direction, but we need to make sure our healthcare is public and is accessible, and we invest in it because it is it is about who we are, as a Canadians, as Ontarians, and to make sure that we are not moving the same direction that the south of the border, and that we are making sure that we invest our healthcare. And I know many seniors are living poverty, so they have a fixed income, and when we ask them to pay their dental care, eye care, ear care, pharma care, and all these things, that is very important to them. And now they're worried. They've contributed so much, and not only seniors, but every single person who lives in Ontario and in Canada should not be worried about their health care. And as Tommy Douglas, the father of healthcare and former leader of the CCF and then the NDP, his vision was clearly on healthcare that covers from head to toe. And that's what we need, and that's what the people of Canada want. And we should make sure that we stop these cuts. And NDP government, folks, will make a priority. And next year will be an election, and definitely we will make sure that healthcare is supported. And folks, it's very important that the minister comes back to the table and have a quick deal before September 1st. And today is 28, and that's very urgent, very important that these services continues for members of our community. And folks, I've said also again that we are going to change the time we meet. We have been meeting since the pandemic from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And I know through the summer, we've been doing that. So we're going to move that away, and we're going to actually meet Fridays instead of Saturdays from 7 p.m. To 8 p.m. to bring your coffee and tea and any your favorite beverages to join us to talk. And I have really enjoyed our virtual Saturday afternoon chats, your comments, your questions, and I'll be continuing them on a new day and time starting in September. And that is Fridays, every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Moving forward, please join me every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., where I take community questions and your questions and also your comments as well. And I'll be able to join you on Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Facebook, my page, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also my YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed on my YouTube, please do so. That way we can connect, and you also able to have access on also the debates, the question period when I stand up at the legislature and ask and hold this government accountable, and also my statements at the legislature. So that way also you will also be able to connect me through YouTube, so that you could also subscribe there as well. Well, thank you, folks. I will be this will be an opportunity to update you on recent events in the community and also issues we are fighting also on the legislature as well. So also the legislature is going to return on September 13 soon, within 2 weeks, I suppose, and we'll be able to also talk about an important issues that are affecting in our community. And I know that many of you have also written to me and you are upset, you are angry about this election, and an election which is not needed in the first place. This is a federal election I'm talking about, and this election is happening because Justin Trudeau and his team, they just want to have more power. And we know that the parliament was working fine. All the members of this current parliament was willing to work with them. They have worked every single agenda that the Liberals brought in, and the other visions the other parties brought in. They have not. There has not been a problem. The parliament was working fine. It wasn't dysfunctional at all. It was a parliament that was working for the people of Canada. And now, what do you need an election when the parliament is working? They could have continued working until at least the pandemic is over. Now we are expecting also a fourth wave that's happening. So folks, this is very important. And here in York Southwestern, we have an excellent candidate, Hawa Mire, who grew up here, educated here, lives this community, and her campaign headquarters is located 2567 Eglinton Avenue West, at the heart of Killsdale, on Kill and Eglinton Avenue West. So please check it out, and also do what you can to send a strong message to Trudeau Liberals in this case, because arrogant and wanting more power is not what our people want. What Canadians want and Ontarians is a parliament that's working for them, And I think the best thing happened last election was to have a minority government. Actually, minority government is the best thing that we need to have, and also when you elect NDP, you elect a party that will get results for you. So think about that when you go to the polls and you vote. And make sure also there will be debates happening in the community. There will be also candidates will be visiting you in your home, and make sure that also if you have any questions, please ask them. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament for York Southwestern. I know that the recent news reports suggest modeling from the provincial science table will warn of a possible fourth wave coming to Ontario. With school 2 weeks away, parents across the province are worried about rising case counts and what that means for their vulnerable children. The government does not need to wait for a new modeling to improve ventilation in schools. Lower class sizes make vaccinations mandatory for all education and healthcare workers and break down the barriers to vaccinations by bringing vaccines to every eligible Ontarian. And I think also, as my leader Andrea Horvath proposed, we need last mile strategy. We need to go to people where they are. And I know that Westpac Healthcare, with partnership with the Mount Dennis Community Hub right here in Western Road and Lawrence Avenue West, is doing fantastic. They're going into community, providing them information, providing them the vaccines, and also the Women's Hospital College has done fantastic job also doing so many pop-ups. So do also the Humber River Hospital with partnerships of the community clinic, community healthcare centers with the like Greek healthcare, community health centers, and also women's college with the partnership of the Unison at the Jain Hub that is also have been doing a fantastic job in our community as well. We thank them, but we need to reach people. Now only 75% of adults have gotten their first vaccines, and also about 83, 84 have gotten their first dose. You know, I'm happy and also proud to let you know that I've gotten my first and second vaccine, and I think it is also you should also consult your doctor, you know, your community members, you know, family members, and I think it is also your best interest to get vaccines, and that's why we need a last mile strategy to go to people, the remaining folks to get their vaccines, and that way, so we move forward and start our normal life again. And definitely, I want to also thank you, those who are joining this afternoon. I know it's a beautiful day out there. It's a Saturday, and in the middle of the summer, and because we have started early on in the pandemic to basically make sure that also we come to you directly to also answer your questions and also address the concerns you have as well. So we will continue to do this because I want to hear your opinions, your thoughts, your suggestions, so that we can work together, and also hear right on so that I could be also incorporate your ideas to the fight and advocacy, and also getting results for our community at the Ontario Legislature. And well, you are joining Faisal Hassan, Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP. And also Facebook, Faisal Hassan, YouTube, also Faisal Hassan. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And welcome folks who are joining, Europe, Brenda, and also Palestine, and everyone who are joining Twitter and Instagram, and also Facebook as well. Last Saturday, folks, friends, neighbors, and brothers and sisters, I've also participated virtual for Martin Eaton Way, at 25 Martin Eaton Way. I spoke at the candlelight virtual for Jerome John Louis Sylvester, a good and honest man whose life was tragically taken too soon by gun violence in Martin Eaton Way community. In response to this event, I have urged the government to tackle concrete steps to address gun violence in our community, and also tackling poverty and lack of access to opportunities with investment, not cuts, in education, youth programming, and also mental health and addiction supports, and housing issues as well. So we need also to make sure that also the lives of our children do matter, and the lives of every person also matter in our community. And this also have come again and again, and also we wanted the communities be listened, be protected as well, so that someone who's minding their own business, bringing food to his mother, is just being taken. And that is something that has happened too often in our community, and we demand this to an end, and we want a protection for our members of our community to make sure our community is safe in their homes. Well, thank you, those of you who also joined, the mother and family members as well, and also the ministers of religion and everyone who have came as well. I thank you as your member of provincial parliament. I also know that also businesses in our community are also struggling. And also I had last week also conversations directly with Eglinton Hill BIA, Business Improvement Area. Businesses in the Kill and Eglinton area continues their effort to try and recover after the devastating effects of the pandemic, as well as the lengthy disruption associated with the construction of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT that has also impacted our community from Eglinton corridor. And we know that the Eglinton BIA, Eglinton Hill BIA in our community have written a letter to the Minister of Transportation asking them that the money they've said that they're going to distribute to the Eglinton Crosstowns, which is about $3 million, that they said that they're going to distribute equally, and this will be used for cleaning windows and lightings in that. That is not what they need. What they need is direct support for their businesses. And I have also written several letters to the minister conveying their message, exactly what they have told me and what they need support. And that's what our community needs. And also they are also preparing to also collect petitions about this. And as soon as I receive it, I'll be happy to table it. And also again, to when we return, to also meet the minister and speak to directly the special case also in our community and also in the neighboring community of Toronto St. Paul's, that my colleague Jill Andrew, member provincial parliaments for Toronto St. Paul's, have been advocating for support for those neighborhoods. And because those neighborhoods have also been hit hard than other Eglinton Crosstown communities. And that's why we also need extra attention, especially our community and the Toronto St. Paul's as well, that is also on the east of us. And this is also something, folks, that I have been fighting on behalf of our community, and that's also the BIA, Eglinton Hill BIA, also have been fighting as well. And we need this file and action from the government, and definitely we need also to make sure that these businesses that have also struggled before the pandemic need also an extra attention and support, and that they don't just need cleaning windows and just lighting improvements. What they need is direct relief. And that's exactly what they have told me. And I will be conveying that message as we returned in September 13 to the Minister of the Transportation. That is the Minister holding the portfolio of the Metrolink filed. And these businesses, business leaders have insisted on more support, but have yet to receive a response from this government at this stage and this time. Please also found an opportunity to visit these businesses, shops, restaurants in the Kill and Eglinton area, and also throughout our community. Shop locally, support these long-standing businesses who have been a part of our community for so long, and if you also want to see my letter also is also I put it also my newsletter, the newsletter that I have sent last week. But also you can also go back and read that. You can go to my website, faisalhassan.ca as well there. Okay. Well, thank you for joining. You're joining Faisal Hassan. You're a member provincial parliament. If you just tune, you are watching Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and YouTube also. You're watching, and if you haven't subscribed my YouTube, please do so, and so that you can get instant updates quickly. And also my page, Faisal Hassan NDP. Also, you are also joining there, and thank you, folks, for joining there as well. Well, also, our seniors deserve better. I've talked about this many times, and I know many seniors, I have conversations with them, they're still struggling, and this is not right. I hear many constituents in our community. I take pride in connecting with as many individuals as possible and learning from the lived experience of people in the neighborhood or in our community. Every experience is different and every challenge is unique. But the pandemic has impacted one community intensely. The stories I have heard from seniors are disappointing and heartbreaking. Their loved ones and caregivers have been frustrated for some time and are demanding better. We can do better. These issues didn't begin with the pandemic, but it certainly focused attention on conditions faced by seniors in Ontario. We've seen what happened when the military came into long-term care homes and home care, what the military have revealed. And I've said earlier, we also oppose those companies, long-term care, that want to also renew their licenses because that is not right. Companies that have let down for our seniors, that they could continue the work they're doing. There have to be consequences for this. And also I've sent you petitions, and please sign those petitions as well, so we can send to this government so they can act immediately on that regard. The lack of care and support for elders has let too many people down for too long. And we must do more to protect these vulnerable members of our community. I still encounter stories of seniors struggling and not receiving the support they deserve. Even after all they have been through, after making lofty commitments, this government has yet to provide vital air conditioning to all long-term care homes in the province. In apartment across this community, elder tenants are living in sweltering conditions with no support from the government. They are watching as price of critical essentials continue to climb and their income remains static. We cannot forget the devastation seniors were forced to endure and must make certain that it does not happen again. And that's why my leader, Andrew Horvath, proposed our Ontario NDP long-term care and home care plan. If you haven't read it and you want it, please send me an email. I'll be happy to send you a copy. fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. You can phone me at 416-243-7984, or you could just search Ontario NDP long-term care and home care plan, and there you have it. And if you have any questions with that, you can always write to me. If you have any questions, you can connect to me next Friday, where I will be able to join you from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to continue our conversation. Bring your coffee, tea, or any beverage you like. Welcome, Matthew, and those who are joining also on Instagram as well. And also folks who are also joining also Facebook as well. I'm proud to support efforts to treat elders in our community with dignity and respect they deserve. I have joined calls for investments to help seniors stay their own homes as long as they need to. I have joined other leaders in demanding that licenses not be renewed for long-term care homes that were among the worst offenders during the early days of the outbreak. we need to legislate a minimum 4 hours standards of hands-on care in long-term care homes and eliminate the profit incentive entirely, so that every dollar invested in long-term care stays in the long-term care. We must demand better for seniors in our community, and I will do just that when I return to the legislature this coming September 13. So folks, we deserve and we owe it to our seniors to make sure our seniors are respected and provided a daily service and care, and that they are put first and foremost. And NDP government will put them first. Well, thank you, folks. Those who have joined, I'll just try to make sure that that I take your questions and any comments you have. I'll just make sure that if I missed any comments at the moment, but I'll be happy to also take your comments as well. If you have also missed also that next September 2nd, we're going to have also a town hall meeting of a safe return to schools, to talk about that. And if you would like to be a panel and share your perspective, I would be happy to welcome you. You can write to us, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, or you can telephone me 416-243-7984. And those who are joining, I know you have been patient. I know outside it's beautiful out there in the summertime. Coming to you live, from 3 to 4 might not be the best time to join you, but definitely that was what you have suggested in the middle of the pandemic at the beginning, 2020, and I have been doing that continuously until then, and now I know we are going to change that from Saturday 3 to 4 to every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I will be able to also will let you know through my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and to also to let you know that so you don't miss it. It'll be next Friday. So we will be gathering again to continue our conversations every Friday from now on. Okay. And you can also join us September 2nd for our town hall meeting. And also, we also had a town hall meeting on Thursday. We talked about cannabis stores, coming more of them in our community. And some of you have also mentioned you would like also to know these businesses that are coming to our community, why are they juicing in our community? And why also the question of do you live in the community? And this is also things that you wanted also the Alcohol and Games Commission to also include that. And if there are more stores in our community and less store on those affluent communities, then it's a concern. You have also identified 3 schools that are closed. We know that one of them, the school trustee, have responded they are also against it to be open close to schools. Both the Daniel DeGiorgio and Chris Tongs, both have also indicated they are also against that, which is great. And I would be happy to work with them to make sure that our children are protected in this regard. We need also their support in that regard, making sure our kids are protected. And please write to them as well. If you have, if you want them to work with you, make sure you also address your concerns to the school trustees. We have 2 school trustees. We have Daniel DeGiorgio, who represents you on the Catholic board, and then also Chris Tongs, who also represents on the public side. So both of them, you can, if your children goes to the public, then you will need to contact Chris Tongs, and if the Catholic school, then it will be Daniel DeGiorgio. and they are also been very helpful, definitely working on behalf of the community, and I'll be happy to work with them to make sure our children are also protected from the cannabis harm. We know that they are targeting through advertisements. They are also making sure that they also are very getting too close. The legislature says that 150 meters, but 150 meters, it's not that long. We have seen it in the Olympics. The 100 meters dash is you've seen it how fast the athletes could run, and that's just not that far. So at least we need 500 meters away from schools and more. 150 is so close to one another and close to schools, and that's also something that the parent is concerned about their kids, and I agree with them. We have to do all our powers, all the tools in our toolbox to protect our kids. They're already having a lot of challenges, a lot of neglect, but and this cannabis also could create another problems for these. We know that also. We also know that also. Are they also enforcing laws when these young people go? Are they asking IDs? All these things. We also need the enforcements to also be vigilant on that as well. So that's also things that the parents have been telling me about and have been speaking to me about that, and I'm happy to take this issue also to the government and make sure that the kids are protected, because these conservative members of the Ford government, they also have children, and also they have also extended families who have also children, and protecting our children, it must be also their priority. It is our priority, and it should be also priority of every member of our community. Well, also, a week ago, also we had a town hall meeting on auto insurance. And auto insurance is also a huge issue in our community. Many members of our community pay higher premiums. I've also recently known about people who are paying $3,166 a year, which rounds up about 265. That's not the average. And some of the members of our community pay more. Say if that's the average, then what about others who are paying 500, 700? And this is also, we want this also to be fair, and we don't want a postal code discrimination that has been identified is also happening. It must end. And many of you have also shared with me that you've moved from another community into our community. And as soon as that happened, all of a sudden, your auto insurance went up. And that tells you then, because of where you live, your new postal code is the reason that your auto insurance went up. And they talk about other factors of habitants, like more people living in certain neighborhoods, populations, and so forth. But that also has nothing to do with auto insurance. Auto insurance should be based on the car you drive and also your driving record, period. And this should be the basis of the auto insurance issue. It's really crisis. More people are paying high, especially decent, hardworking members of our community have been subjected to pay high premiums. And this is also something that is really outrageous, because many of you have written, you've signed the petitions about the auto insurance. And if you haven't signed it, you can always, check my website, Faisal Hassan. You can print the petition, and you can actually mail it to me. And I will be happy to table it again. I've been doing that since I've been elected. We have also put many motions and also bills on this file, and each and every time this government votes down, to protect the consumers, to make sure that auto insurance is fair across the board, not because of where you live, but simply because the car you drive and your driving record. That should be the basis of it. And also, I invited my colleague, Cavaniard, who is the official opposition of the critic for auto insurance. And he has also told me, there are some auto insurance companies that are fair, they're doing a good job, but still there are many of them that are not. And we need to make sure that the system working for everybody. So there's across the board a system. And also they are now also contemplating also using credit card, your credit history as well. They're also using on the basis of auto insurance. And that is also something have nothing to do with auto insurance. Auto insurance should only be based the car you drive and your driving record, period, nothing else. And that is also something I have been also fighting very hard on this regard to make sure we got fairness. It's not fair someone pays 500, 265, 700 for simply an auto insurance. That what that means is they won't be able to have extra curriculum. They won't be able to save for retirement. They won't be able to afford life. And this is very crucial. It's important that we tackle this once and for all. And we will now have been working with these people, the insurance industries, this conservative government, and they have not been helped at all. They have not listening your concerns and your complaints. An NDP candidate definitely will put a priority and bring a real change in this file. And we have done so, fighting and advocating and pressuring this government, including even Kathleen Wynne. Remember Kathleen Wynne, when Jagmeet Singh put 15% for reduction for auto insurance, and that hasn't even been implemented. We also know her promise of also promising us 2014 with the pressure of the community about clean train coalition in our community. So the clean train coalition in our community has been fighting hard for clean trains, and also having clean trains, stopping these diesel trains that are polluting our environment. And in our communities, we remember in 2014 when she said that she's going to electrify trains, going through the Up Express here in our community. Well, we've seen that promise again broken, again and again and again. So it hasn't happened. So my colleagues and I have actually put a bill that we would like to pressure this current government when we return, and that is electrifying clean trains now, which will give us also a fair integration, across the board, which will also eventually will allow more stops. I know our community have fought hard to get this stop here on Western and also Bloor, where there's only 2 stops from Union Station to Bloor to Western and also to the airport. That gives us 12 minutes to downtown and 6 minutes to the airport. And that's a great victory. But still, the trains that the Liberals promised that they're going to electrify, they have not done so. And that was, again, a broken promise. And never have their intention wasn't, but they only wanted your vote in 2014. And we've seen that again and again, those promises broken. And we need these trains be electrified. And it's a shame that Metrolink and also the consecutive governments have not looked at the importance of our environment, and also electrifications is very important. So we will be talking about this bill as well to make sure the electrifications of Up Express and also fare integration, which is very important. One fare as you use TTC, you will be able to jump into the airport and back, to Union Station and so forth. So it can be done, and it must be done. And we want also this government to listen to your concerns, and we will be fighting that as well as we also returned to the legislature in September 13 as well. So those who are just joining, you're joining Faisal Hassan. You're a member provincial parliament for York Southwestern, and you're joining Instagram Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter Faisal Hassan NDP, and also my page, Facebook page Faisal Hassan NDP, and also my YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, folks, my YouTube, please do so. And also so that you can also get instant updates at the legislature as we debate bills and motions and other issues at the legislature, so that you could also get through there. And also, question period, questions that I, ask members of the government, and also statements as well, so that you can also, so you don't miss anything in that. But also, if you miss it, also it'll be there. So if you haven't subscribed my YouTube, do so as well. And those of you who have just are joining, you're joining Faisal Hassan. You're a member provincial parliament, and as I said during the pandemic, that you also have said that you want me to connect me and also be available to you, and we have done that to meet with you every Saturday from 3 to 4 to hear your concerns. And we've been doing this for almost a year and a half now, for quite some time now, and that has continued, and we will continue to do so because I want to accessible to you. And we are, though, next month, which is September, we are going to join every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and we won't be able to join you Saturdays anymore. And this is also something you also feel you're at home at 7 p.m. or you're with your friends, and this way you also prefer to join me 7 to 8, and I'll be happy then also to join you every Friday and also have an opportunity to continue to join. And if I have an important event, something like that, we'll also make sure maybe we meet a little bit early on Friday, but definitely every Friday will be also scheduled on my calendar to join you from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to make sure that I hear your concerns, your concerns, and also read your comments as well. Also, don't forget this Thursday coming, September 2nd, I will be having a town hall meeting on a safe return schools. That we will be, schools are opening within 2 weeks from now, and we would like to also have a town hall meeting, a virtual town hall meeting to talk about safe return to schools. And if you want to be a panel, and if you want to also want to hear your comment, you can join us. Also, we will be streaming live. Of course, we'll be streaming live on Twitter and also Facebook and YouTube. So that way you'll be able to also join us conversations there. Or if you want to be the panel, you can also join us and write to me, fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca, or you can phone at 416-243-7984. That way you can also let us know, and we will also welcome your inputs there to hear your concerns in that regard. Because what we want is to hear your inputs, because it's so important that the education workers and teachers also have been fighting for them for prioritization to get their vaccines. My office have been very successful of convincing the minister to put them a priority on early on, which we have been very successful. But now there are also others who also need to get now. So getting them vaccinated also protects our children. In that regard, also is excellent. So that way we could also hear your concerns. Quickly, I will take, I have only 1 minute, but I will take comments from your comments. Hussein Nur Haji is just joining us and says, keep doing the great job, Faisal Hassan, York Southwestern. Well, thank you. And thank you for for joining us there. And hopefully, next week I'll be joining you, not on a Saturday anymore, but every Friday I will be joining you from 7 p.m. to 4 p.m. And folks, that's it for me. That's the end of my time today. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for listening, and also comments and questions. And remember, this Thursday we have a town hall meeting on safe return to schools. Join us from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And then also Friday the 4th, it'll be the first let's bring your coffee and tea and any beverages you like, and let's talk. Let's have a conversation from 7 to 8 p.m. and we'll be able to talk issues important to you. Until then, folks, enjoy the beautiful day there, and I'll talk to you then soon, this coming week, okay? And have a wonderful afternoon. Ciao.